Yeah, Josh Allen and his Jared Goff borderline had a better season than Josh Allen last year. So him at 4 is fine by me. And I like Herbert at 5. I mean, I don't know. I'm not gonna argue against Rodgers at 6. I just
I mean,
um
I definitely think Lamar Jackson is better at this point.
mhm.
Aaron Rodgers, 40 years old.
It's okay. I mean, it's like there's a couple interchange. It's like Trevor Lawrence at 8. I mean, I bet you I'm cool with him at 8, but I bet you he sneaks into that. He got top 5 potential this year. Like I'm thinking next year, I bet you he put him at like 5. I don't like Dak at 9 though. I think that's dumb. I think he puts up a lot of stats and
If Dak is consistent at anything, it's throwing interceptions.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, Jared Goff at 13 is about where he belongs.
Yeah, I like Jared Goff a lot better than I like Brock Purdy.
Yeah, I mean Brock Purdy just, so many weapons. So it's like really gonna put him at 12 coming off an
I mean,
injury?
if you're talking about like raw talent, I think Jared Goff is obviously better because he's been in the league longer, but
Hmm.
sure he's got weapons, but so does Detroit now.
Jared Goff got that dog in him too. So that adds a couple points. I think at least I mean Kirk Cousins.
Jared Goff is a rookie. He ain't sitting out the rest of the playoffs.
I feel like Jared Goff and Kirk Cousins around the same skill set, decent physics out of Kirk Cousins. Jared Goff is your ideal frame. But I think the tiebreakers should come down to who has the dog in them, which would be Jared Goff and not Kirk Cousins. So I don't like that one. And you know, I like Kirk Cousins. A little bit. I don't like that he went to Michigan State, but I mean, you can win a chip with Cousins if the rest of your team is developed. But I would probably put.
They're putting a lot of chips on Justin Jefferson with these projections for Minnesota players.
I'm putting Cousins at 13. I don't really. The Deshaun Watson one. Hmm. You know, he missed a whole year. I didn't. I mean, how much did we see out of him last year? Like, did we?
We saw a lot of like
He didn't.
180 and 0, 220 and 1.
Yeah, I mean, they got a good line. They got a good run game. There's no reason he shouldn't be great this year. But I bet you he's lower if we do that.
Mari Cooper, Donovan People-Jones,
Yeah. Okay.
former
Jones
Michigan.
at 15. I'm okay with. Fields at 16. Two at 17. Stafford at 18. I don't like Derek Carr under Bryce Young. Um, Bryce Young obviously not proven on a crappy team. Limited weapons. I mean, DJ Chark, and they got Mims. Who's their? Did I miss? Who's their number one receiver over there? They got
Where at?
Terrence Marshall. Carolina
Ooh.
picked up Mims in the draft. They got DJ Chark. They got Terrence Marshall. Um, I mean, dude, I don't know why he's 21. I think that's just because of his draft capital. But they're like, all right, let's throw him at 1. But I mean, it's gonna take some time, especially only being 5'11". Actually, he's not even 5'11". I think I'm looking down on him. But Derek Carr needs to. I think Derek Carr needs to be above Bryce Young and Kyler Murray. Cool with Russell and Stafford at 18, 19. I think for sure bounce back years. Um, I love always seeing when you see it's like, oh, this person's in the best shape of their life, and that's what we're seeing with Russell Wilson's camp. That's what they're trying to throw that narrative out. It's like, oh, now he's in the best shape of his life. Got Sean Payton. Everyone's back. But I mean, 19. I'm not going to argue it.
A story that he had like some partner. It was like a lifestyle coach that he had been working with numerous amounts of years, and I guess he died or something like that. And
Oh,
this
really?
was right as the trade happened, or maybe before. And so, like, emotionally, like, Russell's going to a new team. He's got all this shit from the outside coming in, and then his like good friend, like probably his best friend, dies. So that's probably got to be hard on a guy. But
Yeah, didn't know all that, but that
yeah. Plus, you got guys like Melvin Gordon doing dumb shit in the locker room.
playing future, you know. You think Sean Payton allows the squad to play future in the locker room?
I bet you Sean Payton would break somebody's finger if that happened.
Like the pinky, or did he go like straight for the?
I mean, he'd probably break like a ring finger, like maybe the middle finger or a pointer finger,
Mhm.
just so you can tape it to something.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna start at the bottom here now. They got Sam Howell as the last one. Played pretty good in his only start, but I guess him at 32 is fine. I like Desmond Ritter a lot this year, like in like a super flex league. Um, him at 31, that seems all right. Baker at 30, Mac Jones at 29. That man, what a tough situation that is right
I
now.
mean, honestly, that's accurate.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I don't think I like him over Ritter, Howell, and Mayfield, and yeah, that's about it. I mean, I'm throwing these rookies and Kenny Pickett over him. So, honestly, this isn't a bad list because it's like there's not
Just
too
for the
many guys.
most part accurate, to my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yep.
Some things I would change though, like between
Yeah.
the top 10.
You always see you'll see like PFF fantasy, or you'll see some lower lists. Like they'll have like a guy like Justin Fields at 7 or 6 just to get some like clicks going. But no, this is overall it's a good list. Brock Purdy at 12. That's my biggest question mark. I mean, give me one more year of him looking like he did last year. I mean, because he's got all these weapons, so I'm not looking past that. With one of the best offensive-minded coaches, one of the best being Ben Johnson.
Then I sent you a ESPN
All right.
analyst.
Oh, I
For,
actually saw this one. So this is quarterback room, I think,
yeah,
is what this list is.
yeah.
Okay. I mean, mostly the same chart though, or same deal. Okay, let's see, Ravens.
I think at
Where
Trevor
is it? 8
Lawrence at 8.
again. I got the Browns up 1. The Lions. Okay, they got the Lions down to 18 here. I don't agree with that. So
They got Russell up a lot too. So is
yeah,
Derek Carr.
I mean, if we're going
Justin Fields.
quarterback room, I mean, you got to put the Lions up more. They got a plan. They got to. I mean, how many of these teams have? I mean, got you got your guy, and then you got your guy of the future, and it's really only just us, you know. Also, just now realizing Marcus Mariota is an Eagle. I got the Packers at 29. Love that.
Huh.
Wow, this one has the 49ers at 24. Um, Whoa, yeah, that's at the 12-point drop off. That's crazy. And they have a whole room. They got 3 guys.
Trey Lance, Sam Darnold. These are all floor level quarterbacks, though. Trey Lance maybe not on the skill level, but now there's so many question marks with his injury.
Yeah, I'm just gonna ask you a question, all right? So I got mine. I want to hear yours, all right?
Yeah.
Um, all right. So NFL quarterbacks who are great, like skillfully great, and got the dog in them. It's pretty easy, okay? One, they got to be skillfully great and have the dog in them. Whereas like Jason Tatum, I think he's skillfully great. I know we're going different sport, but just to make an example, but he don't got that dog in him. Whereas I feel like Joe Burrow Patty Mahomes are both skillfully great, and they got that dog in them.
You think a guy like James Harden's got the dog in him?
That's tough, man. Does he? I think he
Because when
does
you
have
said
that dog.
Jason Tatum, the first thing that came to my mind was how he had not taken a single field goal in the fourth quarter of the Eastern
Yeah.
Conference Finals. Like, was it 2 or 3 games into the series? And that
Yeah,
reminded me of how
exactly. Yep.
James Harden did the exact same thing with,
Yeah.
was it Houston?
Yeah. I would have actually said that Harden does have the dog in him. But I just really don't think, like Kobe Bryant said, that his play style doesn't really equal championship winning basketball. But it's a little different with quarterback play. I guess so. That's like a whole another conversation.
That's Moxie,
That's a great
baby.
question, though. You really had my brain working there. But who's a guy would you say like skillfully great, but don't got that dog in him? We'll go like NFL quarterback.
Skillfully great without the dog.
Woot woot.
How many picks do I have?
Well, I mean, you can.
Many as I want.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, a guy that goes right off my head, a guy that's really good at football but's kind of a bitch is Daniel Jones.
Okay. Yeah. He would be lower on like say like the graph, but yeah, that's a good one. He'd be more mid. I feel like.
You mean like, you're talking like a top caliber type player?
Yeah. Because I was gonna. Yeah. I mean, it's tough. I would have. I mean, Aaron Rodgers might have that dog in him, but I don't know. He definitely don't got that playoff dog in him. So I probably would have said A-Rod.
Thinking now.
Because I got this one. I'm gonna segue into the next question.
Jeez, I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's tough. Let me ask you this though: who's like a mid-level guy? Like
here's one for you. A guy who's pretty good skill-wise, but doesn't really have that dog in him is Trevor Lawrence.
You don't think he got the dog in him? He hasn't acquired it yet.
Have you ever seen his like pep talks before the games?
Are they bad? Are they rough?
So you know how if you had like Ray Lewis in the pep talk, he's like, come on, we're about to fucking kill these motherfuckers. We're gonna beat the shit out of them. We're gonna win this game.
He's speaking from experience.
Literally. And then Trevor Lawrence is here like, all right, guys, come on, let's stay focused out here. Blah, blah. It's just in that monotone. You know how he talks, and it's just like
he hasn't acquired that dog yet.
It's like Jacksonville believes in the team, but when you got a guy like Trevor Lawrence that can't really get the guys with their fucking blood flowing, you want to get them fucking horny for violence, And it's like I don't know if he does that. Like, is there anybody in that locker room that has the ability to do that other than, I mean, the whole reason the Jaguars are the way they are, in my opinion, is because of Doug Peterson.
Yeah.
I mean,
he got the dog in him.
100%.
Yeah. What about a quarterback that's skillfully pretty decent, but does have that dog in them? Woot woot.
So wouldn't that just be like the best quarterback in the league then?
Well, no. Like just pretty like maybe above average skill level, but not like elite tier, but has the dog in them. It's like it's a big difference. Like for example, Michigan football, Cade McNamara, very he skillfully was pretty weak, but he had the dog in him, and he took down Ohio State. And it's whereas like JJ McCarthy skillfully has like some things to his game, like he's versatile, he's good, maybe not elite tier, but also has the dog in him, and like that's why Michigan like took that next step, and as you'll see this year. But for me, like a Like maybe slightly above average for like a starting quarterback. And even as we see on these power rankings, like just above average, I gotta go Jared Goff, dude. I mean, he's like, we know he's not elite, but he definitely has that dog in him. He can take, like he's he can give a pregame speech, and he gonna go buy his linemen like Rolexes and stuff like that. Like that's pretty cool. He definitely got that dog in him. And then on the flip, I definitely say like a guy like Tua, like outside of physics, like they're pretty skillfully even, I'd say. But Tua definitely he lost that dog because he might have had it at Alabama, but he don't got that dog no more. Woo woo. I know that's a lot to take in. Any thoughts before I had to go?
Off of the top of my head, I was thinking Tua and Dak.
Does Dak have the dog or no?
I
Definitely
mean,
not, right?
I think so.
You think he has the dog? Okay.
I mean, dude,
I feel like it'll take this year to determine because I would argue against him having the dog.
think about like his career, like how fast he came into the league. His brother commits suicide, so he's like on the frontier of the
True.
NFL for mental health. Then he compound fractures his leg in perhaps probably the most important season of his entire career, his contract year. Then they still pay him. And then he comes back and I mean he wasn't great last year, sure. But like he's still like a top 12, top 15 type quarterback.
Definitely a tough dude. I think like that dog is something. I don't know. You think you're almost born with it though. A guy that can overcome adversity. That's great. I don't know if that just gives you the dog.
You know who I
Dang.
think the NFL Dog of the Year was for 22?
Let me think for a sec. Quarterback? Is he a quarterback?
Any player. Dog
Um,
of the Year 22.
Josh Jacobs, Saquon Barkley,
Tony Pollard.
Tony Pollard. Okay, ding ding ding. Yeah, I like that one for sure.
Took Ezekiel Elliott's job.
Yeah, he he made that man homeless.
He left the Cowboys and he is probably going to come back. Like that man alpha the guy who's supposed to be cooking and eating.
He praying for them to give him a spot back.